Okie dokie. Do 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 do. Are we live? Are we good? Can everybody hear me okay? Do 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 do. Ooh, a lot of people commenting already. Hello. All right. Aw. Okay, a lot of comments in here already. Dang. All right. Oh, I notice Anime Fan 34 asks, "Who's your godly parent?" Well, I took the godly parent quiz on this channel a while ago, and my godly parent was Hades, so I was very happy with that. So yeah, Anime Fan and Nightshade. It would seem we're all Hades kids. Yeah. Do 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 do. Tobias says he's a male hunter of Artemis. Well, good for you. I'm glad Artemis let you in. All right. Happy 1 year anniversary. Keep posting videos because your videos are amazing. Aw, thank you, Mr. McMagic. There's a name. We can hear good. And I am Hamilton. You are? So you're Hamilton and you're a male hunter of Artemis? You live quite a life, sir. You should talk to Hollywood about a movie. Hey. Hey to you too, Luke. How you doing? Oh, a lot of people here already. Hi. Hello, Sophia. Hello, Nightshade. Hello, Anime Fan. Hello, Mackenzie. How are you doing? Mr. Man Guy. Okay. A few questions first. How do you pronounce Gaia? Well, I guess that answered that question. 2, how do you pronounce Tartarus? I guess that answered that question. How do you pronounce hepatitis? The god of forges and fire. I think you mean Hephaestus. I'm guessing the autocorrect got you there. Okay, so I am going to answer all your questions just before we get started. For anyone who doesn't know, yes, it is the 1 year anniversary of my first ever TikTok video. And yeah, I think it was about a month later that I started this YouTube channel. So it's about the 11-month anniversary of this YouTube channel. So yay. Yeah, and I started this YouTube channel because the TikTok page actually got 5,000 followers within 1 month, which was amazing. Like, I remember my first video that blew up was my first video to get thousands of views was my video where Oedipus gets a DNA test from what's the word? What's that company? Ancestry.com. Yeah, Oedipus gets a DNA test from Ancestry.com and finds out his family tree and he freaks out. That video got 3,000 views and I was amazed because like up until then my videos had only got tens, possibly hundreds of views, and I was really happy to get that many. And the funny thing is I pre-recorded that video before a birthday trip to LA with friends, and yeah, that video got thousands of views during the drive over there, and so I was really happy, and I kept updating my friends. I was like, guys, it's at 1,000 views, guys, it's at 1,500 views, holy crap, it's all the way up to 3,000. They were like, we get it, shut up. I was just so excited. And then one day during that trip, I realized I hadn't pre-recorded enough videos for the whole trip, so I went outside and just completely improvised a video called Greece Has a Zeus Problem, where I go, welcome to Greece, everybody. We hope you enjoy your stay. If you feel something humping your leg, that's probably Zeus. Don't try to fight it, because he'll make sure it happens one way or another. Just let him finish having his way, raise his bastard child, and pray that his wife doesn't find out about it. The bathrooms are right over there. Any questions? So I just came up with that on the fly and just posted. I was like, I hope people like this. Then I went out with my friends. I didn't check every hour like I was doing with videos back then. I went out with friends. At the end of the day, we came home. We were watching Mandalorian. And then I was like, oh, right, a video. I got to check the video. And I opened it up. It had 9.8 thousand views on the first day. That was, for my channel, that was unheard of. And I just dropped my phone. I was like, oh, what? And my friend, who is also my business partner, Wilda, she was like, what's wrong? And I showed her, and she, like, her mouth dropped. And it was amazing. That was the beginning of of building, and from that day on, I was consistently gaining followers, I was consistently gaining views. That was the video that made my channel start to happen, and that's why I have it as the example video on my YouTube channel, because I kind of owe everything to that video. That video, which I improvised on the spot, it's amazing. People love that video so much. There's like 40 duets of it on TikTok. I'm so proud of it. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to try to answer some of you guys' questions. After the little history there, I'll probably give you some more history, but I do want to answer your questions. This is a Q&A. So, all right. So, who is your favorite hero from Greek mythology? That would be Heracles. I love Heracles' story, and I love the Disney animated Hercules film. Even for all its inaccuracies, it's just so much fun. You can't watch that movie and not have fun. If you do, I don't understand how you live your life. It must be sad. But if you don't get it, I can kind of understand. If you don't like it, I can kind of understand why, because it is really inaccurate. It's just fun. But yeah, I also love the original Heracles story. I've reread it in a lot of different ways. A lot of fun. What's your favorite non-mythology book? Oh, that's a good question, actually. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that. It's hard to pick one book by itself. I can definitely tell you my favorite non-mythology book series is Gone by Michael Grant. That series is really dark. Really, it can be hard to read sometimes, but it's so well written and so engaging and so amazing. I highly recommend it. The Gone series by Michael Grant. A lot. I was going to say a lot of fun, but not a lot of fun, but a lot of intense stuff. I was so invested the whole way. A lot of twists and turns. Very amazing series. True, but she was a good weaver, so she could probably have made clothes, which was probably pretty creative. I like in a person. Oh, I think Kay Marley's talking about Arachne. So I would like to go read all the previous chat, but I do need to answer everybody's questions. That's true, though. Arachne is technically pretty creative, so yeah, that's cool. Hamilton from Twitch. Oh, Tobias, you're Hamilton from Twitch. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, we did a Twitch live stream of God of War yesterday, and I'll talk a little more about that later. But yeah, okay, cool. That's awesome. That's really awesome. It was really cool seeing you in the Twitch chat yesterday. The spider is dead. Yeah, I feel like there's something I'm missing out on here. Hello to you too, Ken. Good to have you here. Kay Marley says that he's a child of Apollo. All right, cool. Good for you. I'll bet you really light up everybody's life. I was watching your live stream last night, and God of War was amazing. It is a very amazing game. Highly recommend it. If you have a PS4, God of War 4 is a must-have title. And, maybe check out the previous ones too. But God of War 4 is, in my opinion, the best one ever. And it's a console-defining game. I'm either Poseidon or Athena, which is a recipe for disaster. If a Poseidon and Athena ever had a kid, I'd be freaking shocked. They can't stand each other. How many dislikes do you have on your YouTube channel? I have never seen you get one. Oh, I have some, but it's rare for me to get them, and that's actually just... Here's the thing. It's because this is a small channel. Like, technically, videos, and don't get me wrong, I'm insanely grateful for every single view I get. But it's technically still a small channel. Like, I get about, I want to say roughly 200 views per YouTube video on average, except for when some blow up and get really high. But on average, like, the most common is around 200 views. So unless your videos suck, you're not going to really get dislikes at that many views. Now, I like to say this. I like to say you can tell that your video is doing well when the dislikes start showing up. And let me tell you what I mean by that, because literally every highly viewed video on YouTube has dislikes. You have a video about the Dalai Lama talking about inner peace, and people dislike that for some reason. I don't get it, but they all have dislikes. But I do have videos with dislikes, most recently because the Tinder videos blew up. Very grateful for that. So those have some dislikes. If I had to guess, I would say out of all my videos, I probably have a few dozen dislikes. which is amazing because I've made hundreds of videos now. So only having a few dozen dislikes is incredible. But yeah, I've never really taken the time to count all of them. But if I had to bet, I would say a few dozen. Chief Kurger Bing says, hi to you too, Chief. It's a huge honor. We have a chief in the chat. Good for you. Fly Eagles Fly says, how long is this going to be? Just wondering. It's at least an hour, maybe two. It depends on, how much you guys want to know and how long I have energy and how long until I have to use the bathroom. We'll just see. Because I don't really have anywhere to be tonight, so fortunately, I can keep this going for a while. Who is the person in the box to the left of your books? Oh, are you talking about here or here? Yeah, we'll just take both of them. All right, this is Enchantress from Suicide Squad. This was a gift from my little cousin. My little cousin gave me this. It was either for my birthday or for Christmas. I don't remember which, but little guy Evan brought me this. It was really sweet of him. So yeah, and it's a DC character, so I keep it right here on top of the DC comics. And then my other box here is the Joker. This is my favorite character in all of fiction. I love him so much, and so yeah, I keep him close too. I think my parents got me that one. Yeah, I think they one day they were like on a trip and they came home with that bobblehead, and I love that thing. All right. Hi, I love your vids. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Always lovely to hear. I never get tired of hearing stuff like that. It's always wonderful to hear that your work is appreciated. Seen that one? I assume you're talking about the Zeus video. I'm glad you've seen it. I just realized that I didn't follow you on TikTok and just went and did that. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Like, I really appreciate when people like enjoy my content enough to follow it on multiple websites. That's really amazing. And like, sometimes people apologize. Sometimes people are like, oh, I didn't realize you had this account. I'm sorry. Guys, there's nothing to apologize for, okay? None of you owe me a follow, and that's what makes the follows special. Really, like, nobody owes me a follow, nobody owes me a like, nobody owes me a view, and that's why I'm really happy to get it all. If I felt like I was owed it all, I'd just be an inconsiderate jerk, and I have seen some people like that, and they're not fun to watch. It's never fun to watch. I'm honestly shocked I have what I have right now, and it's amazing. But thank you either way for following both. Like I just said, it means a lot. Love your videos so much. Oh, I love you so much. I love all of you. You guys are great. Yeah, seeing that again, I guess we're talking about the Zeus video. Will you tell story of when Utgard Loki pranked the god of mischief, Loki? Sure. I mean, he mainly pranked Thor, but he also technically pranked Loki. When Thor and Loki went into Utgard Loki's place. Utgard Loki, by the way, is the ruler of the mountain giants in Norse mythology. And he challenged Thor and Loki to a series of challenges, which all seemed really simple, but they turned out to be tricks. For example, like, they challenged Loki. Loki was like, I'm so hungry, I could out-eat any of you giants. So Loki was in an eating contest against a giant named Logi. Yeah, we have Loki, Logi, and Utgard Loki. There's no confusion here. So Loki versus the giant Logi. They both ate a ton of food, and Loki ate everything on his plate. But here's the thing. Logi ate everything on his plate, and he ate the bones, and he ate the plate. There was literally nothing left. So technically, Logi won. However, it was revealed later that they had tricked Loki because Logi was actually fire. Like, he was living fire, and fire eats everything. It doesn't discriminate. So get it, it's, poetic and everything. You can't out-eat fire because fire will eat everything, and so that's how they beat Loki. That's how Utgard Loki tricked Loki. And yeah, he also tricked Thor multiple times, like with this whole can you drink everything in this thing? But it turned out what he was drinking was actually the ocean itself, and you obviously can't drink the whole ocean. And there was also like Thor trying to hit this giant's head and not realizing he was actually hitting mountains. And then there was like Thor trying to lift a cat, not realizing it was actually Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent, and Thor trying to wrestle an old woman, not realizing the woman was actually Death, and you can never overpower Death. Death will always win in the end. So yeah, there were a lot of tricks. There was one against Loki and like 3 or 4 against Thor. So yeah. Who is your favorite Greek hero? Oh, we just touched on this earlier. Heracles. I love Heracles. Do you like fan fiction? It depends on the fan fiction. I don't go out of my way to read a lot of fan fiction, honestly, and like that's not out of disrespect. It's just out of I actually have a lot of books I haven't managed to read lately because I've been really busy with what I've been doing. So not a lot of time for fan fiction. I will say this: there's a Harry Potter fan fiction called My Immortal. I had so much fun reading that because it is so horrible. It's so and like if you're a Harry Potter fan, you have to read this fan fiction. You either have to read the fan fiction or just look up one of the dozens of people on YouTube who reads it out loud for you. Ton of fun, absolute ton of fun. Do you think Zeus's favorite child? Who do you think is Zeus's favorite child out of the Olympians, and why? Also, happy 1 year anniversary. Thank you, Diana. His favorite child is definitely Athena. They've kind of established that she's very much his daddy's little girl. Because like when all the gods rebelled against Zeus, and I made a video about this, Zeus punished all of them except Athena because he just liked her too much. He didn't want to punish her. Favorite Greek monster? Ooh. It's I think I've been asked this before, and I don't remember what my answer was, but I do like the monsters with multiple heads. Like some of my favorites are definitely Cerberus, Hydra, and Chimera. It might be the Chimera just because of how freaking different the heads are and how creative that is. And I love that it breathes fire. I love the Chimera. So it might be the Chimera, but if I was going to pick like a monster to own, it would be Cerberus for obvious reasons. You got a nice name, lol. Oh, because your name is also Mythology Guy. Yes, we have very nice names. What toy of power would a son or daughter of Gaia have? Ooh. Play-Doh. You know, like if it was like modern day, it would be like Play-Doh. Like you can form it into whatever you want and then it would like come to life. Like, you know, I feel like that would be a child of Gaia. Or, you know, Pet Rock. Either that or Pet Rock. Just throw like you throw Pet Rock and it turns into a boulder in midair, and or you can throw Pet Rock and it turns into a rain of like pebbles, and I feel like that would be the child of Gaia's toy of power. Maybe something like Hazel's. Maybe. I found your content just the other day, but it is so funny and amazing. Thank you, Waffle Cult. That's awesome. I'm really glad you enjoy my content. Guys, I'm sorry I'm so behind on the chat. I really am just trying to answer everyone's questions. This is the best I can do. So I'm sorry if anyone's like you're so far behind. Do you have any board game recs? Oh, recommendations. Disney Villainous is a ton of fun. That's my favorite board game, actually, I think. Yeah, Disney Villainous, love it. Absolutely love it. If you're a Disney fan, especially if you're a Disney villain fan, I think you will love that game. I don't see how you couldn't. I also enjoy Batman Rogues Gallery. I also have been getting into a game, which I might stream on the channel at some point. There's an Arabian Nights board game, but here's the thing. That board game is not for the faint of heart because it requires a lot of steps to play. And also, unfortunately, there's a lot that's left up to randomness and chance in that game. So I could see people getting really frustrated with it. My brother got really frustrated with it. We played it together, and he got kind of upset while we were playing. But it's still a beautifully made game. It's really great. So, but my top recommendation would definitely be Disney Villainous. That game is great. It was fun. Cool. Who is your favorite god or monster? Okay, so I said well, I guess which mythology I'd have to ask. Out of Greek, yeah, it's probably the Chimera. And favorite god period is Hades, but in different mythologies, favorite gods are in Chinese it's Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. In Hindu, it's Kali, the goddess of destruction. I love her. In Egyptian, it's Anubis. I like underworld gods a lot. In Norse, it's Loki. He's just so funny. I like funny. You know, I'm a part-time comedian. Like I used to do stand-up and stuff. So I love how Loki will do just about anything for a laugh. And yeah, it's different, but those are some of my tops. Monsters and other mythologies might be a little tricky. In Egyptian myth, who's my favorite monster in Egyptian myth? It might be Apophis, also known as Apep. I might have to. No, it's the Cryosphinx. I love the Cryosphinx in Egyptian myth. Yeah, and in Aztec mythology, it's the Ahuizotl. I really like that creature, and in Norse mythology, it's probably Surt or Garm. Those are two of my favorites. So yeah, those are a lot of my favorite things. I love your video about Demeter being a Karen and going to the underworld with Hecate to get back her daughter. Yeah, I made that video because on TikTok a lot of people were asking for Hecate, and I was wondering how to make Hecate funny. And here's the thing: Hecate is pretty level-headed, and then I realized there is the story of her and Demeter. I think people would laugh at that. I think Demeter being so needy and Hecate just being the straight woman. That's not about her sexuality. That's an old comedy saying, the crazy person and the straight man. So yeah, just for anyone who didn't know that. I'm glad you liked it so much, by the way. That video was a lot of work. Especially because, of how quickly I had, in order to make it funny, I had to make the "Are we there yet? Yes" very fast. And that's kind of hard to do on TikTok, as sometimes it doesn't register when you try to do things too fast. So I'm really glad it turned out in a way that a lot of people liked it. If you like time travel or historical fiction books, you should read the Haddock's Missing series by Margaret Peterson. First book title is called Lost. That is interesting. I'm just taking a pic of that comment so that I have a record of that book. I'll keep that in mind. How strong is Kratos? OP, please nerf. Like, Kratos is like, we haven't seen any limit to Kratos' strength. He's defeated Zeus, he's defeated Kronos, he defeats everyone he comes across. Like, when does he lose? Like, he's almost never lost, and the times that he has lost, he's come back for revenge and then won. So we don't even know Kratos' limit. I don't think I can give a proper answer to that. Which hero has the funniest death in Greek myth? I did a series called Famous Last Words that kind of addressed this. Funniest Greek death in Greek, probably Achilles. Honestly, I would probably say Achilles because, the man, who slaughtered everyone, who was invincible, unstoppable, was shot in the heel. And I think that's in real history too. I think the actual Achilles was shot in the heel before he was shot anywhere else, and so that was what stopped him. Honestly, it's kind of funny. A lot of people have made jokes about it. It spawned a lot of comedy. Favorite Filipino creature? Ooh, good question. I really like the Capre and the Manananggal. I like the Capre because I consider him to be kind of one of the funnier creatures. Like, it's a big, dark-colored giant in a tree smoking a cigar, hitting on people. That's hysterical. But the Manananggal is a half-bodied vampire demon woman with a long tongue. It's horrifying, and I like that too. Those would be my top two, and for very different reasons. So it's hard to actually pick which one is the favorite. But yeah, Capre and Manananggal, both of which I've done videos on. A lot of fun with those. If you had to choose only one type of mythology to focus on forever, what would you choose? Oh, why you gotta hurt me like that? I was like saying, which one of your kids do you want to keep? I did grow up with Greek. Greek was what got me into mythology. I owe a lot to Greek. When people have asked me what's my favorite mythology, I usually lean towards Greek for that reason. So I would probably go with Greek, especially because I know so much Greek, and I feel like I could draw so much from Greek, especially for the card game I'm working on. I mean, I've made the most Greek cards out of any of the cards, so it would probably be Greeks. Gone the Green Bean says, hi to you too. Okay, how strong is Kratos? Someone really wants to know how strong Kratos is. I've already said we can't really accurately measure that. Kratos is just OP. That's the best I can tell you. If you could wish for a culture's mythos to be real, which one would you be? I don't want any of them to be real. They're all kind of rough. I guess if I had to pick one, I might lean towards Hindu just because, like, the gods, in Hindu, some of them are a lot nicer. Like Vishnu is a lot more benevolent, and he's like one of the most powerful ones. In the other mythologies, the powerful god is usually kind of a jerk, and we don't want someone that mean to have that much power. So maybe it would be Hindu. Honestly, I don't want any of them to be real because in all of them, humans are kind of helpless and at like the constant like mercy of people who are kind of mean and awful. Hi to you too, Zachariah. Nice to. You are so amazing. Oh, thanks. You're amazing. You guys are great. Love you guys. What's your favorite Filipino mythology? Oh, I'm guessing you mean what's your favorite Filipino myth? Um, it's hard to pick a myth in particular. I don't know Filipino mythology as I do my other strong mythologies because I actually didn't start learning it until I started this channel. So I've been learning it offhandedly for the past year. But I love the tales of the Capre, like just like, because it makes me laugh. It made me laugh so hard when I first found out about it. I was like, I gotta do a video about this. It's the video where I'm up in the tree. So maybe just tales about the Capre, I would say, are my favorites for now. It might change because I am gonna read more. I'm still trying to buy. Like I've read segments from stories, but I'm trying to buy a big book full of Filipino myths. So if anybody has a recommendation for one of those, I'd really appreciate it because I try to get books for all the mythologies I want to learn. I try to get multiple books so that I can see if there's like different versions and everything. Nico D'Angelo, okay. What's your favorite video game? It's Kingdom Hearts 2. I wish it was Kingdom Hearts 3, but I found in the end I didn't enjoy Kingdom Hearts 3 as much as I enjoy Kingdom Hearts 2. But I still love Kingdom Hearts 3. It's just it launched with a lot of problems. There weren't enough worlds. The worlds themselves were great, but there weren't enough of them. The story was kind of badly written. I'm sad to say that. And the game was way too easy at launch. I know they've added critical mode since then, but when it launched, I played it on the hardest available difficulty and I breezed right through it. It was too easy. It made me a little sad. Who's your favorite character from the Suicide Squad minus Joker? Oh, well, actually, in the Suicide Squad movie, I hated the Joker. I thought that was the worst, one of the worst Jokers I'd ever seen. But favorite character from the movie, it wasn't a great movie, unfortunately. I actually liked Captain Boomerang. I thought he was pretty funny. I actually really liked Will Smith's Deadshot. That's probably my favorite one. Enchantress was the worst DCU villain ever, in my opinion. I get why you think that. I don't think she was the worst, but she definitely could have been done a lot better. There were some good things about her. There was some really creative imagery, like with the hand and the face and some stuff. So they did do some. I thought some parts of the movie looked really good, but the writing could have been so much better. What is your Hogwarts house? I'm a Hufflepuff. I've taken the test. I am a Hogwarts Hufflepuff. I have a Hufflepuff cup in the kitchen. I'm sorry I don't have it right now, but yeah. I am a Hufflepuff, and I take pride in being a Hufflepuff. My business partner, Wilda, is a Ravenclaw. Cernell says, to you too, buddy. I'm a Slytherin. Good for you. That means you're clever. Anime fan says they need to leave. Aww. And the stream just started by Ginger Santa. Well, I'm sorry you have to leave, Ginger Santa. That's hilarious. I'm really appreciate you showing up. Thank you for that. Okay. But yeah, hopefully, like, I'll see you in the next one. Fly Eagles Fly, Gryffindor, or Ravenclaw. Okay. So I guess you're one of those. Okay. People are saying they're Hogwarts houses. Good for you guys. What is your Livermorny house? I'm sorry, I don't know which house I am in that. Yo, what's up? Hey, well, we're just doing the Q&A. What's up with you? Ooh, Athestria, how you doing? You've been a long time fan. Wait, but fire can't eat water. Oh, you're right. Yeah, for the Logi fire thing. Actually, yeah, that would have been That would have been great in the story if Loki had pulled out a drink and said, "Ah, but you didn't drink, did you? So I technically win." You're smart. That's good. How are you so smart? I don't think of myself as smart, guys. I just I've read a lot of mythology, and I quote it a lot. And people ask me how I know so much mythology. I've That's because when I was a kid, when I was like 4 years old, a lot of parents read their kids fairy tales. My mom was from Georgia, the country. There's a country called Georgia in Europe. It used to be part of the Soviet Union, and in Georgia, Greek mythology is really big there, and they talk a lot about it, especially because some Greek myth stories actually took place in Georgia. Like the country Medea was from was within Georgia, and the place where Prometheus was supposedly chained up was also in Georgia. So they take a lot of pride in Greek mythology over there. So my mom would tell me Greek myth stories when I was a kid instead of fairy tales, and it got me really into it. I still learned fairy tales, through TV and school and everything. But my mom would always read me from a book called Dowleri's Greek Myths, which I still have over there on my bookshelf. And I got really into it. I ended up the second I was able to read, I read through that whole book by myself, and I read every myth book I could find. And then my parents, one year for Christmas, got me a game called Age of Mythology, which was Greek, Egyptian, and Norse myths. And that's when I discovered there were other mythologies, and it got me into both of those. And then one day, like one book series my dad would get me to try to get me in more into history was called Horrible Histories. And one of them was called The Angry Aztecs. And that's how I learned Aztec mythology. And so, yeah, from there, one day I found out about the Monkey King. I thought he seemed really cool. So I started reading Chinese myths. And Chinese myths were an easy segue into Japanese myths. And, at that point, I had come up with the idea for my card game, and I wanted to learn more myths so I could do it better. So I started reading Hindu myths. And, just a couple of years ago, I started reading Celtic. I'm now finished with Celtic. I've also started checking out Filipino, Polynesian, and Native American. So there's those two. A while ago on TikTok, somebody asked me to do a video on Mesopotamian mythology. So I went out and I read the Epic of Gilgamesh so that I could start making videos on that. So basically, a lot of it came from just naturally learning myths over the years. And in recent years, I've learned a lot of new mythologies because I wanted to make fans happy. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Yo, what's up, bro? It's me, your cousin Evan. Hello, Evan. If that actually is Evan, I'll be amazed. But it can be powered by some liquids, especially alcohol. Oh yeah, fire. Yeah, technically. That would just make the fire bigger. Yeah. Hi, mate. What is your favorite Percy Jackson character, personality-wise? Percy. I know that might sound like a really dumb cliche answer, but I love the hell out of Percy. Second favorite is Leo. Third favorite is Apollo. Yeah, I just love all three of them. They're just great. I like all the characters, and I know a lot of people say like their favorite character is Annabeth, and they ask me why my favorite character is Annabeth. I love the hell out of Annabeth. It's just I identify more with Percy and Leo, and I find Apollo to be really, really funny and charming. So, and Annabeth is fantastic, but to be fair, Percy had 5 books from entirely from his point of view, so I felt like really connected with his character. So, yeah. Loved the Avengers vid. Oh, great! I'm glad you did. Yeah, that took me a while to make. I'm really glad you liked it. If you guys want more video game reviews, let me know. And let me know if you want them more in the style of that Avengers video or more in the style of my Mulan review video. And let me know if you want more myth-based movie reviews or TV show reviews. Or, my buddy Zaggard said we should start a Percy Jackson book club videos or something. And I'm down to do that. It just might take me a while to do because it's going to be hard to find time to reread books. But let me know what you guys would think of that idea. Not including Hades, would you rather be Zeus or Poseidon? Are you saying be them or be a child of them? Honestly, I think I would prefer Zeus, either to be or be a child of. 1, because I feel like that's more raw power, and 2, because then I can fly. I want to fly. That'd be fun. I think having power over air can be used for a way more useful and OP things than power over water. Power over water would still be fantastic, but I think power over air is more abusable. Do you have a forehead? No one has ever seen it. Well, time to ruin that. Boop. I've got a little scar up here. In preschool, a kid hit me in the head with a toy fire truck. So that's my forehead. Yeah, now you've seen it. There you go. Yeah, I this is my hairstyle. This is how I like my hair. Who is your favorite? Oh, I guess ask the same question again. I already answered that about the personality character. Okay then. Have you read the webtoon lore Olympus? It's about Hades and Persephone's love story, but modern day. Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. Like a lot of lore Olympus fans in my audience, which is cool. I have not found time to read it in its entirety yet. I've looked at some small snippets. It's very nicely drawn, and it is on my list of things to check out in the future. I do have a lot going on right now between working on these videos, and I'm trying to make also like bigger like review videos for YouTube, like that Avengers video and the Mulan video. And also I'm trying to put together a regular streaming schedule with Zaggard, because some people are asking, understandably, they're asking, hey, like when do you do this next? Like how often do you do this? So we're trying to designate an actual day of the week to it so people know when it's going to happen. Yeah, like so, and also I'm learning new mythologies so I can put them in my game, and I'm working on the game, ton of work. So it is hard to find time to check out more stuff, but I do want to still. So like feel free to keep like recommending things. Favorite minor god. Also, happy anniversary. Thank you very much, homies. That's his name. Favorite minor god is probably Thanatos. I really like Thanatos. I also really like Heracles. He technically became a minor god, but that's kind of cheating to give him both the hero favorite and the minor god favorite. So I'd probably go with Thanatos. I also like Eris a lot just for what she can do. It's so messed up. It's like deliciously evil, but like, you know, Thanatos is probably my favorite one. Do you think Athena being Zeus's golden child and Ares being the least favorite was Athenian propaganda? Possibly. It's possible Athens was just creating fake news, you know? And I'm sure Ares probably came out and, on Twitter, getting very angry. Fake news. No, don't believe her. She's a nasty woman. Okay? We don't follow that. We don't follow that fake news. All right? Yeah, it's very possible. Do you think Percy Jackson is better than Harry Potter, or is that just me? Oh, that's hard to say. Oh, God. I grew up reading the Harry Potter books and then the Percy Jackson books. I love both of them. Like, I don't know if I could pick a favorite there. I think I had more fun reading the Percy Jackson books just because I was such a huge diehard mythology fan, though. So, because that is my favorite series. So, I guess for me, I would say that. But it doesn't take away from Harry Potter. He's still awesome. A lot of people agreeing here. Harry Potter is overrated. I don't think he's overrated, but he is very overplayed, you could say, yeah. Do you play D&D? If so, what is your go-to class? I have played D&D. I don't play it regularly. I usually play D&D and just screw around. Like, I just kind of screw with everyone. First time I ever played D&D, I just improvised. They were like, okay, you got to pick your class, your character, and I just made it all up on the spot. I made up the stupidest crap I could think of. They're just like, okay, what's your character's name? And I went, Salmonella Shunte. They were like, what? I was like, you heard me. His name is Salmonella Shunte. They're like, so what? That's spelled like what, the S-A? And I was like, no. It has a silent V in it. And they were like, what? Yeah, it's spelled S-V-A-L-M, And they were like, okay, Salmonella Shunte is kind of a long thing to say. I was like, okay, you can call him Sal. And they were like, okay, so just S-V-A-L. And I was like, no. When you shorten the name to Sal, the V is now in front and it's V-S-A-L. They were like, what? And I was like, it's a silent traveling V. It's just the silliest thing. And, we didn't get a lot done that day because people were laughing and people were posting on Facebook about what I was doing. They were like, this freaking guy. I was very proud of that. The character I made, he was a bugbear janitor sorcerer. I was like, and they were like, "What's your class?" Janitor. And they were like, "You can't be a janitor. You have to pick one of these." I was like, "Okay, I'll be a sorcerer, but my staff has to be my mop." And the guy DMing was like, "You know what? I'll allow it." And they were like, "Bugbear and sorcerer don't really go together." And I was like, "They do now." And his backstory is he's a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, even though Kingdom Hearts doesn't exist in the D&D world, but he uses his magic to view Let's Plays of it in an alternate universe. His father does not support his dream, and so one day, Salmonella Shunte made his mop staff out of the stairs leading up to his dad's room. He took all the stairs out and made a staff out of it, so his dad cannot get down the stairs, and he was trapped in the upstairs bedroom, and he is still there to this day. Salmonella Shunte's goal is he will one day actually play Kingdom Hearts. In case you can't tell, I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. And everyone was people were laughing, people were face palming, people were groaning, people were asking what the hell is wrong with you. And I said, hey, if we're gonna play this, I'm gonna play my way. And we ended up playing 2 other campaigns. I created a character called Dr. Wunterslash, who was a guy who had a serious touching himself problem and wore a hoodie where one string was always longer than the other. I then created a 3rd character named Prickleberry Crunch, who was a necro dancer. Yeah, more crap I came up with. I might tell you more about them in the future, but I think I've gone on for a while about this one. So that's whether or not I play D&D. Have you guys read Michael Vey? I have not read that. Sorry. Percy Jackson has better world building. It does have very good world building. Harry Potter has good world building too, though. How are you so smart? Oh, we were on that earlier, so I hope you heard me give that answer. Octavia says, "Hey, I made it. Congratulations, you did. If you were offered to be a god, what type of god do you think you would be?" I think I would be technology or space. Oh, so you'd be like the god of NASA, god of rocket ships. That would be awesome. I would. What would I be god of? I've asked my friends this before, and they all tell me they think I would be like a trickster god because of how much I mess around and like how weird I can be sometimes. So it makes sense. I think trickster god. I would be very proud to be a trickster god because my 2 favorite types of gods are underworld gods and trickster gods. As you can tell, from some of my favorites being Anubis, Hades, Loki, and Sun Wukong. So yeah, based on what I've been told, maybe trickster god. I also do like to host a lot of parties, so who knows? Maybe I'd be similar to Dionysus. I mean, as much as I would love to be an underworld god, given the kind of guy I am, it probably wouldn't be a super great fit. So realistically, it's probably one of those. What is your favorite creation myth? Oh, okay. That's hard. That's hard. I mean, in Persian Zoroastrianism, there's this funny story where the creator creates this primordial bull to give humanity all that it needs, and then the destroyer shows up and destroys it literally just because he could. That's pretty freaking funny. Favorite creation myth? What might sound a little silly, and I don't know if this is the kind of answer you guys want, but here's the thing. I did grow up with the Catholic creation story, and I actually really like it. I actually do really like the Catholic creation story, and I still believe in it. At least I believe in most of it. I'm sure there are some things we didn't get right, but I do like that creation myth a lot, and it does hold a special nostalgic place in my heart. The other creation myths are cool though. Like in other creation myths, it's usually like a mother and a father, with Gaia and Uranus. Though I do kind of like the Norse creation myth, how literally they created the world by killing a giant and then just making the world out of him. And then there's Egyptian creation myth where Ra kind of made himself and then he made everything else. Yeah. And then Aztec creation myth is like creation destruction myth because the world keeps ending and then being reborn. And then there's Chinese where Pongu comes out of an egg and he lifts it up and the top of the egg becomes the sky and the bottom of the egg becomes the earth. And then there's Japanese where they have the spear, the celestial spear that the blood comes off of and it forms the islands of Japan. But yeah, out of honestly, I do like the Catholic one. I'm probably just going to say that. Other than that, it is really hard for me to pick a favorite. Your videos are awesome. Thank you very much. Always love hearing that. Makes me very, very happy. Thank you, Viking Yeti. I love how Atreus was just like, look out and you're hurt, but does absolutely nothing. That's true, yeah, kind of. I mean, he's not overly useless, but it is kind of funny when he's like being a backseat fighter. Who is the toughest goddess? Why? Ooh, probably Nyx. Because Zeus is afraid of Nyx. But according to mythology, Zeus can defeat all the other goddesses. But according to mythology, he is legitimately like afraid of fighting with Nyx. So it would probably be Nyx out of like the goddesses in Greek myth, anyway. In Hindu mythology, it's no doubt it's Kali. Some people might think it's Durga because Durga is goddess of war, but Kali is such a freaking animal on the battlefield, goddess of destruction. I think she like would be freaking insane. So yeah, but I still think Nyx could probably beat her. So it's probably Nyx. Nyx is the goddess of night, and yeah, she has birthed a lot of the most chaotic, insane minor gods. She's even birthed the Fates, and the Fates can pretty much make anything happen. So yeah, don't mess with Nyx. I think Achilles might have been shot with a poison arrow. That's a good theory. You know, I actually have wondered that myself. I personally think that similar to the Troy movie, he was shot in the ankle, which stopped him, and then he was shot in other places, which actually killed him. But yeah, it was definitely, from my guess, it was either that or the poison, I would say, if I had to guess. Achilles was so dumb. He could be dumb. Yeah. Just wear boots, doofus. Yeah. Hey, can you do videos where you explain periods in Greek? Are you talking about moments in Greek history or moments in Greek mythology? I'm not entirely. If you be a little more specific, I'll see about it. But yeah, I'll definitely make a note of that. What's your favorite Japanese myth? There are so many great Japanese stories. I love the tale of Izunboshi, the one-inch high samurai who refused to give up, and in the end, the gods rewarded him for it by turning him to full height, and then he ended up wielding this incredibly powerful hammer. Izunboshi is a really great story. Momotaro is also a lot of fun. The Peach Boy warrior, but I think I like Izunboshi's story more than Momotaro's story. But those are two of my favorites. Kintaro is a lot of fun, but I don't think his story is as good as the other two. For now, I'm just gonna say Izunboshi. Yeah, the one-inch high samurai. I love his story. I am back, Ginger Santa. You're back, anime fan. Anime fan came back. Yay! I'm so happy to see that. Yay! Okay. Hi to you too, Paolo. How you doing, man? Thank you for the good content. No joke. Thank you. You know, I'm really glad you guys enjoy it. You know, I just want to make stuff people can enjoy. So it makes me really happy when people do. Obviously. Oh, shoot, I kind of got messed up in the chat. Sorry, give me a minute. Wow, there are a lot of questions here, guys. Which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm just impressed. Which book series is your favorite by Rick Riordan? The first one, Percy Jackson. I love all of them, but I feel like that one I had the most fun reading, honestly. And then after that, I enjoyed the Egyptian one, and I enjoyed the Roman one, and I loved the Norse one when it got started. I felt like the first Norse book was a little stronger than the other two, but they were all still good. And I'm really enjoying Trials of Apollo. I haven't finished it yet, but I love it. But yeah, the first Percy Jackson series, I think I had the most fun reading. Best content I have seen in a long time. Oh, thanks, you guys. Don't make me cry on camera. Greetings to you too, Crimson Fist Captain. I love you. I got a question on Hinduism. How terrifying is Kali? Oh, I talked about this. Kali is Don't piss her off. If you want to know what Kali is like, I'm going to sum her up right here. She's amazing. So there was once a Hindu Asura demon. Asura means demon, but not everyone knows that. A Hindu Asura named Raktabia. And like the reason they couldn't defeat Raktabia on the battlefield was because every time they cut him, every time he bled, the drops of his blood would grow into clones of himself. So every time you cut him to try to kill him, there would just be more Raktabias afterwards. So it was like, it seemed like he was unstoppable. Then the goddess Kali came down, goddess of destruction. How do you think she can kill him? I mean, she has weapons, but she can't like cut him or anything. It's just going to create more. She ate him. She ate him. She ate every single clone of him, dozens, if not hundreds of Raktavias. She just ate without a moment's hesitation. She devoured them all, and that was it. That's the kind of goddess Kali is. Do not mess with her. I love her. She's my favorite Hindu god. I like how often you post because we don't have to pick between quality or quantity. Aw, thanks. Yeah, I typically post once a day, and sometimes it can be a little hard. And yeah, I know sometimes I don't post a sketch during the day. Like I didn't post a sketch today, and that was because I really just wanted to focus on showing you guys that I'm grateful for everything. Though that might have, who knows, maybe some of you would go, if you're grateful, give us a sketch. I'm sorry. But yeah, sometimes it's a little hard to post every day, but I do try to do it as much as possible. There are days where there's a lot of stress and I have to take a break or like take a day off. And so I am sorry that when that happens, but like just know that I'm doing it. It's so that I don't like rush something and put out some half-baked video. I like to be proud of every video I make, even if the video is just going to be one short joke. I still like to be proud of it. But you guys are incredibly supportive. There's like almost no complaining. Like you guys are a really awesome fan base, and I'm really lucky to have you guys. And we just recently hit 2,000 followers. I'm really happy about that. And actually, we recently hit 2,100 followers. And what's funny is I was joking with my partner, hey, we're about to reach 2021. Can I reach 2,100 followers before we hit 21 in the year? And we actually did. And I'm very happy about that. So thanks, you guys. Really awesome. I finished reading the Poetic and Prose Eddas. Oh, cool. I have the Edda over there, actually. What other books should I read to find out more? Also, is the story of how Loki married Sigyn from Mythos comic or unknown? Loki and Sigyn being married is in Mythos, and it was probably also adapted in the comic because Marvel comic did use some of the actual Norse myths. Now, other books you should read. If you, I assume you're just trying to learn more Norse myth. So, Neil Gaiman wrote a great book about Norse myths. Also, Dow Larry's, the same guy who wrote the Greek myths book, also wrote a Norse myths book. Also, there's an author named Jake Jackson who writes a ton of mythology books. He covers just about all of them, and he does a really great job. Also, there's another author called Matt Clayton who kind of does the same thing. He covers pretty much all the mythologies, and he does a really great job. So, Neil Gaiman, Jake Jackson, Matt Clayton, and Dow Larry's. Those are 4 possible authors for Norse mythology. They're all very good authors. I'm sure you could learn a lot of good stuff from those. I mean, they don't write it all poetically, but they do write it in a way that's easy to grasp. I also did a YouTube video called Myth Books I Recommend, and I did another video called Am I Addicted to Mythology, where it shows like most of my book collection. So if you want to check out either of those videos to see the books I read to learn mythology, that's one way to get my recommendations. I'm a Hufflepuff too. Awesome. Yay, Team Hufflepuff over here. Out of Zeus's kids, who would be king or queen if Zeus steps down? I mean, he probably wouldn't, but hypothetically, what would happen? It should definitely be Athena. I think she would be the most competent leader. I mean, you said out of Zeus's kids. The gods have tried to rebel and instate Poseidon as the new king. There also is an alternate version of the myth where they argued over who should be ruler. But honestly, if we're picking Zeus's kids, and honestly just out of the gods in general, I think Athena would be the best fit for the new ruler of the gods. Kind of like how Horus replaced Osiris, who replaced Ra. Hi to you too, Meredith. Sorry guys, I have allergies, so a lot of sniffing. Do you think if Hera has a chance would leave Zeus? Um, she should, but I don't know if she would. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if she even loves him, given how they got together. Um, she probably would. I mean, I know that she doesn't like him. I don't know if she loves him though. But maybe. I hope so. That would be good. Maddie is here. Good to know. I'm glad Maddie is here. When God of War Ragnarok, what bosses do you want to see Kratos fight? Okay. Given that it's Ragnarok, I wanna fight Surt. That's like a must do for Ragnarok. Now I know. Here's the thing: Jormungandr is kind of our friend in the first God of War game, so I don't think there's any chance of fighting him. Also, given the twist about a certain thing going on with Loki, for those of you who have played the game, I think you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if we'll get a chance to fight Fenrir or not. We probably won't, but it would be cool if we did. But I definitely want to fight Surt. We should definitely fight Heimdall. He's the guy who like blows the horn for Ragnarok. It makes perfect sense that he would be involved. Now, I don't want to say Thor or Odin, and here's why. Because this is supposed to be a trilogy from what I've heard, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense to fight Thor or Odin in part 2, unless, if we're just going to have a fight where, nobody gets killed, then, I mean, then yeah, we might fight Thor given that little teaser that was in the last game. But I don't think Thor will die. I think they would save that for part 3. But we should definitely fight Surt. We should definitely fight Heimdall. We could fight Njord, Freya's father. That would be really cool. Njord, maybe Freya's brother would be really cool for a fight in Ragnarok. I mean, Freyr is supposed to fight against Surt, and so why not fight both of them? Like, in the actual myth of Ragnarok, those two are supposed to fight. I'd like to fight Freyr with his antler sword. That would be really cool. But yeah, my most wanted fights in Ragnarok are Surt and Heimdall. My father is Hermes. Oh, good for you. Livermore is the major magic school of North America in the Harry Potter universe. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot the name. I still don't know what my house would be. I haven't taken a test for that. But cool, good to know. My mom didn't read me any stories. I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. If you didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. People's parents read them fairy tales. My mom read me Twilight. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. My brother was addicted to Age of Mythology. So was I. In fact, I still play it now occasionally. I got the Steam remaster where they added Chinese mythology. I love it. I hope they add more mythologies. Guys, anyone who's an Age of Mythology fan out there, message the developers. They need to add Aztec mythology into the game. I want human sacrifice as a way to gain favor. Okay, Marley, my parents never read me any stories. God, did anybody's parents read to them? I forgot about that game. Well, now you remember. Just finished both Eddas. What's next? Oh, I touched on that earlier with the Norse books question. Hopefully you heard that. What language is spoken in Georgia? Georgian. They have their own language. Yeah, some people think they just speak Russian, and they do. A lot of Georgians know Russian, but they have their own language. It's called Georgian, actually. It really is. My mom speaks Georgian. She tried to teach me Georgian when I was little, but I wasn't able to absorb it. I only speak English. I don't know anything else, unfortunately. As much as I would love to be a Rosetta Stone, because it would make my research into mythology way easier, all I know is English. I'm not as smart as some of you think I am. I wish I was, but yeah. There are things I'm good at and things I suck at. What's your favorite mythology and why is it Inuit? I don't know Inuit mythology, unfortunately. My favorite, as I've stated before, is I'm gonna have to say Greek for that. I owe everything to Greek. It was my first mythology. It's the mythology I know the most. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it weren't for Greek. So yeah, and plus Greek has amazing stuff in it. So it is going to be Greek. I would be cool with anything you make, but I would prefer you to make it in the Mulan style. Okay, I'm glad you like the Mulan style because that was a crap ton of work. I spent 20 hours making that video. I was up all night for 3 days straight. It was a nightmare because I didn't know how to edit. I had to self-teach, like all of that. But I am glad to hear that people liked it. That was my first ever review video, and I think it shows. But hopefully in the future, I can use what I've learned to make it a little better. But I'm glad you liked it. My favorite PGO characters are Leo and Reyna. Understandable. Leo's really great, and Reyna's really cool. So I totally get why. You should do an adaptation vid of Dragon Ball and Journey to the West, as they vary widely. Oh, okay. So, are you asking for like a sketch or like a fun fact, or just a video like discussing it all? Because I'd be down to do that. That sounds like a really good idea for a video, honestly. But you would have to deal with Hera. I'm not entirely sure. Are you talking about like the god ruling thing? Because it would be annoying to deal with Hera. I like you cut. Gee, a lot of people tell me that. So you turned into Harry Potter with a toy fire truck. Oh, yeah, because the kid hit me in the head with the fire truck. I guess so, yeah. The fire truck is my Voldemort, one day it will come back for revenge. To answer your question, you should make more videos about mythology movies talking about how bad and inaccurate they are. Okay, I will. If anyone has a specific one they want, feel free to say so, and I'll make a note of it. So, is the mother of Hypnos's children who is the mother of Hypnos's children? Read somewhere that it's Nyx, but she's his mom, so ew. I don't think it's Nyx. I think I remember it being someone else. I know Hypnos's son is Morpheus. I actually kind of forgot who the mom is. You know what? Let's fact check right now. Let's look up Morpheus mother. Like, we might as well figure it out. Morpheus. Parents. Why is the internet not telling me who Morpheus's mom is? No, Morpheus's mother is Pasithea. Yeah, that's right. That reminded me. Yeah. His mother's name is Pasithea. It's not Nyx. Don't worry. What is your opinion on Journey to the West? Have you heard or read about it? I've talked about this in some previous videos. I love Journey to the West. I read the story a long time ago. I'm going to try to reread it in preparation for Black Myth Wukong, which is currently one of my most hyped games, period. I love Journey to the West. I'm also going to, thankfully, a lot of, some people in my Chinese audience were nice enough to share with me a link to a YouTube channel where you can watch the Chinese 80s TV show with English subtitles, and I'm going to try to get into that. I also absolutely love Dragon Ball, which is based on Journey to the West. That was actually what got me to read Journey to the West, was reading Dragon Ball, because I love Dragon Ball so much. That was my first manga. It's my favorite manga. I love the hell out of it. And yeah, Sun Wukong is my favorite Chinese guy. Have you seen the web series God's School? Yeah, it's Greek's Gods in High School with Eris as the main character. I actually found it on YouTube. I saw a portion of it. It actually looks like a lot of fun. There's only 3 episodes out right now, unfortunately, but it makes sense. It's like an independent person creating that. I wanted to watch it with friends. I might watch it with Zaggart and Claire, or I might watch it with Wilda. We'll see. But yeah, I didn't want to watch it alone, so I figured I'd watch it with people, and then I might talk about it in a video. We'll see. How come we always talk about how Zeus had over 100 kids while Oceanus had over 1,000? You got a good point there. Maybe Oceanus has so many kids because all that sea, that's not water, that's his seed. Oh god, that's one of the worst things I've said. Can you explore Turkish mythology? I made a video about Turkish mythology a while ago, and I might make more, especially considering you're asking me to. So yeah, I can try to make another Turkish mythology video. Homies, I'm going to leave now. Bye. Oh, okay, bye, homies. Oh, my homies left. That's sad. Well, it was nice having you here, homies. Question: do you know that the first Greek god was a god named Chaos? Yes, the primordial deity of chaos. He's not really a god. He was the one that created Gaia, though he is not mentioned. Just testing your Greek mythology knowledge. Yes, I knew about Chaos. I was really hyped to see him when I was playing the game Hades. I wasn't expecting to see him in the game, so it was really cool to see him there. Yeah, Chaos was the first being in Greek mythology. From him came some of the other primordials, and from the primordials came the Titans and several of the minor gods, and from the Titans came the major gods, and from them came more minor gods, and yada yada yada. But it all started with Chaos. Can I just say I love your videos? Yes, you may. I will allow this. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to hear you love my videos. Makes me very happy. According to Percy, he's a soupy mist. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, but okay. I would love to play D&D with you. I'm sure you would. Maybe someday. Who knows? Never say never. The sky's the limit. Hey, I'm not the best writer, but I have thought of making a story of the son of Persephone. So, what are your thoughts about it? Oh, why not? Do what you want to do, guys. Sometimes people who don't expect to be much of a writer end up writing things that get turned into timeless stories. Heck, if you think about this, Hades game is about a son of Persephone, and that did incredibly well. And people love Persephone. So writing about a child of Persephone, I think, for the mythology fan base and especially the Wiccan fan base, I think they would eat that right up. So, if it's something you're passionate about, I'd say go for it and see what happens. You never know. This D&D campaign sounds amazing. I love how his only goal is to play Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, well, I'm glad you like it. That was some silly crap I came up with. That's funny. Yeah, thanks. What do you think Olympians do on a daily basis? Also, is it just me, or is it normal to think that the Greek gods could possibly what the Greek gods could possibly be doing right now? I think if the Olympian gods actually exist, they just dick around. I think they just drink and eat and talk about how great they are and talk about who they want to hook up with, and then they go down and they hook up with someone and they come up and then rumors get spread around. I think Olympus is kind of like high school, honestly, with the god. I think a lot of the gods are just gossiping about each other and just talking crap and saying things that if the other gods found out, they were saying there would be a war, but they don't find out because they don't care enough to look, because they all think that they're all the rage. That's what I think the gods do in their spare time. I feel like you should do vids about your D&D adventures now. I might, some funny stuff has happened in them, honestly. So, I might do videos just talking about it. I've only done those 3 campaigns, though. I haven't played since. I don't enjoy D&D as much as other people do. I just like to mess around. If I was a god, I would be the god of gaming, and I would be 300 pounds and always eat Doritos. You do you, man. We could use a god of gaming, some representation. When is your birthday? It's coming up, actually. It's 1 month and 1 day from today. Actually, it's January 18th. That's when my birthday is. So, if you wanted to know, yeah. OMG, I love your TikToks. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you very much. This is a feel-good episode. I love this. This just makes me so happy. I do these things for you guys, but I get a lot out of them, honestly. This is an amazing type of god. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what you mean, but okay. I have to go by. Oh, bye, Fly Eagles Fly. You're probably already gone by the time I'm reading this. Sorry, but I enjoyed having you here. Some funny comments. If you were an underworld god, you could be in charge of Elysium. That's true. That'd be kind of fun. Just going around making everybody's dreams come true. If I was in charge of Elysium, I'd be coming to everyone's door every day with a big check, just messing with them. I'm like, hey, you've just won $10 million. And they'd be like, you do this every day. And I'd be like, yeah, it's Elysium. You win every day. I'd just be screwing around with everyone, killing them with kindness. I'd be kind. Maybe that's why I'm not in charge of Elysium. They'd be like, get that guy out of here. Have you ever studied Islam? Not a lot, no. Most I ever studied Islam was I was in a museum, and I was there to look at Egyptian artifacts to find more things to learn about. And there was an Islamic section. I think they had a type of sphinx or something, and it got me a little bit interested. But I have yet to actually go into Islam. But maybe in the future. It's just not high on my priority list right now. Right now, my priority mythologies, because I want to add them into the game. My priority is to learn. I'm trying to learn Polynesian. I'm trying to learn Native American. I already know some of and Filipino. Like I already know some stories from these three. So I want to complete my knowledge of those three, and then I want to finish learning Mesopotamian. I feel like those four mythologies. A lot of people would be really happy if those were in the game. I'm Christian, but I like to study Islam. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I'm Christian, but I like to study all of these myths. So it's great to branch out and learn new things. I missed the last one. I'm late for this one. Do you remember me when you made your first live stream? Rain and Tino, I do remember you. I remember Rain. Yeah. It's good to see you again. Oh, there's Wilda. Hi, Wilda. If there was a god or creature after you, who would be most terrified? Who would you be most terrified? Happy anniversary, my dude. Celebrate soon. Aw, thanks, Wilda. I love you. You are the best. Okay, so if there was a god or a creature after you, who would you be most terrified of? I'd be most terrified of Dullahan, the Headless Horseman, because it's actually in his myth. There's no way to get away from him. There's no way to get away from him. He will always get you no matter what. So I think he would be the one I'd be the most scared of. Then again, he is basically just the Grim Reaper in Celtic myths. So if he got you, that just ensures you're going to die. It's not like something horrible is going to happen to you. So there are probably some Filipino creatures I'd be a little more scared of, given what they would actually do. But definitely Dullahan would be the one I most feel like I can't get away from, because you can't get away from Dullahan. Oh shoot, I'm sorry, I scrolled a little too far down again. Just give me a second to get back where I was. Sorry about that, guys. The chat updates in really weird ways. Do you have a favorite Norse god or goddess besides Loki? Okay, yeah, I was about to say, I just said Loki, but okay, besides Loki. Good point, good question. Favorite Norse god or goddess besides Loki? I really like Hel. What I like about Hel is I haven't seen this in other mythologies, that she's the goddess of the dead, and she's literally down the middle, half dead, half alive. That's really cool, in my opinion. I really like that about Hel. It's pretty awesome. I also like Heimdall. He's pretty awesome. And I do like Thor. It's pretty cliche, but Thor has really great stories around him. So, it's really cool, the kinds of tales that Thor gives us. Isn't Kali also a goddess of death? Kinda, yeah, but she's mainly goddess of destruction. Yeah. Ooh, hold on, sorry. I gotta plug this in before it dies. I smell a bias. Oh, I'm sure that's something from earlier. Like I said, I'm a little behind on your comments because there are so many of them, and I don't want to skip any, so I'm just trying to do them all. Can you make videos of Turkish mythology, please? Oh, yeah. Like I said a little earlier, sure, I can do more Turkish mythology videos. I did one, and I can do more. If it'll make you guys happy, that's mainly what I'm trying to do here. Have you ever heard of the goddess Chang'e? Sorry about the spelling. I think it is a Chinese story from. Oh, I think you're talking about Chang'e. Yeah, Chang'e it's spelled really weird. It's Chang and then apostrophe E. Chang'e is the moon goddess in Chinese mythology, wife of Hu Yi, and owner of the jade rabbit or the moon rabbit on the moon who makes the medicine. Yeah, I've heard of her, as if it wasn't obvious from everything I just said. They actually just recently released a movie on Netflix called Over the Moon, and Chang'e is in that, and I actually made a video talking about that movie. So yeah, if you really like Chang'e, you could check that out for a little Chang'e fix. Artemis was tricked into killing the only man she would ever love, right? It depends on the story. Most versions of the story say Artemis would never have loved anyone. And some versions of the story say that the man fell for her and she got mad at him for falling for her, so she gouged out his eyes, and then Hephaestus made him new eyes. But yeah, there are versions where there was a possibility for love there and then it ended in tragedy. but those versions probably aren't going to be as widely accepted as the others. It just depends on who you find. Like, there's a million versions of like every myth, so people are always going to argue about accuracy. It's never going to be perfect. Just find the version you like and roll with it. I don't know if anybody else notices, but I love the faces you make after your puns. Yeah, I always make a pun and then I like smile. And the reason I do that is because that's like supposed to be like I'm giving you a minute for that to sink in. And it also kind of reflects reality, because anytime I make puns at people, I always like smile at them afterwards, and I'm always like, I hate you. Go stand in the corner. People tell me that. They go stand in the corner. Who would win, Uranus or Artemis? I think it would be Uranus. He's a primordial god. It took the strongest Titan to defeat him, and it took the strongest god to defeat that Titan. I love Artemis, but I'm gonna have to give it to Uranus here. Just if I had to guess, like, I could be wrong, but I don't think we'll ever know. I read something online that said Nike and Athena are like best friends. Is it true? I kind of want it to be true because they're both my two favorites. They definitely have a relationship. I think they have a friendship, yeah. I don't know if they're best friends or not, but to be fair, Greek mythology doesn't always address whether or not people are BFFs. But I do think they are friends, and it makes perfect sense because Athena is the goddess of battle, strategy, and wisdom, and Nike is the goddess of victory. And there's a very famous statue called the Athena Parthenos, and the Athena Parthenos is holding Nike in her hand. So, it, and I think that's supposed to be symbolic of Athena holds victory in her hand. Get it? But, it's, they definitely, like, I could totally see them being, like, friends up on Mount Olympus and talking about how they love to, kick ass. Thirsty. All right. As a fellow small creator, I'm happy to be a sub. Oh, you're a small creator. Okay, cool. I might check out your channel later. Tabs Tactical Manager. Oh, is that Totally Accurate Battle Simulator Tactical Manager? If you're the actual manager of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, I absolutely love your game, by the way. I don't know if you are or not, but I guess I'll find out later. I love Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. That game is so much fun. I play it every time they update it. I play through the new levels. If you could pick two myths from two different types of mythology, what would you say are the most similar? So two different types of mythology. I'm not going to say Greek and Roman. That's too darn easy. There was one I had in mind. Dang it, it just escaped my brain. I remember it. Okay. It's the Japanese tale of Urashima Taro and the Celtic tale of the Land of Youth and the Child of Finn McCool, whose name unfortunately escapes me because Finn McCool is the more famous thing. Okay, so in Japanese mythology, Urashima Taro was a fisherman who got some kids to stop messing with a poor innocent turtle, and then the turtle came back to him later and said, I want to thank you for saving my life. I'd like to take you to Ryugujo, basically the Japanese Atlantis. So he took him there, and Urashima Taro was so happy there, he actually married the princess of Ryugujo, and he spent 3 years down there. And then he told the princess, though, he's like, I'd like to go see my family, though. I've been away for 3 years. And the princess said, okay, but if you leave, you have to take this box with you and you must not open it no matter what. And he said, yes. And then he left and he went back home, and he realized everything had changed. His home was gone. His family was gone. And then he asked someone nearby what was going on. And he told him who he was, and he said, that's impossible. Urashima Taro disappeared 300 years ago. It's like, 300 years? It's only been 3 years. That's impossible. And then he's like, I have to know what's going on. And he opened up the box. And then when he opened up the box, he turned old and crumpled into dust. And it turned out in Ryugujo, time passed more slowly than it does in the real world. And then there's the tale of Finn McCool's son who went to the land of youth. Finn McCool's son was riding his horse and he ran into a woman who was singing, and she told him she had been watching him for a while and she was in love with him, and she asked him to come with her to the land of youth. So he went to the land of youth with her, where nobody ever grows old, and he lived a happy life with her there for a few years, but then he wanted to go back and talk to his father, and his now wife told him, you can go back to your father, but you must not get off your horse. Ever. Do not touch ground outside of the land of youth. And so he went out and he went back to his father's kingdom, but like the castle was a ruin now. And he asked people nearby what was going on. They said, oh, Finn McCool's kingdom is gone. And he said, but I'm his son. He said, no, his son disappeared hundreds of years ago. And he was like, what? That's impossible. And he got mad at the guys. So he tried to get into a fight with them, but then he fell off his horse. And once he fell off his horse, all his years caught up with him and he crumpled into dust. So yeah, those two stories are very, very similar. So those are the two I would pick. Sorry, I tried to tell those stories fast because obviously they're long stories. Keep doing epic content. Thank you. I'm going to try to. In the Riordan verse, what was your favorite meet cute with the different mythos? Meet cute. I did like it when Percy Jackson met Magnus Chase, if that's what you're talking about, like crossovers. Yeah, Percy Jackson has met Carter Kane, and he's also met Magnus Chase. Actually, I think the Carter Kane story is a little cooler, though. So I'm probably go with that. That story is called The Son of Sobek. Yeah, I like The Son of Sobek. That's a good one. If you're talking about crossovers, I'm not sure. I'm new to your channel and I love your videos. They make me laugh. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Abigail. I'm very glad to hear that. I hopefully will keep doing this for a long time. Eating people seems like a common thing in mythology. Well, there went the tone. You're absolutely right. It's a very common thing in mythology. I've made several videos about it with Tantalus and Lycaon and Maria Labo and so on and so on. A lot of people getting eaten. And, like I just talked about Kali. If you could have a monster as a pet, which would you choose? Cerberus. Definitely Cerberus. I love dogs, and Cerberus I feel like would be the best dog. And I know he's loyal, so, you know. Just this one stream has shown me that I pronounce literally everything wrong. Don't feel bad. When I first learned Aztec mythology, I pronounced everyone a certain way. And then one day I was at work and I had a friend there who was actually Mexican. And I told him about the game I was working on and how I was putting Aztec mythology in. And we talked about it. And he pointed out to me that I was pronouncing just about everything wrong. He was like, no, you're pronouncing... I used to call Ahuizotl Ahuizotl. He was like, no, it's Ahuizotl. I would say Huitzilopochtli. He would say, it's Huitzilopochtli. I said Quetzalcoatl. He said, it's Quetzalcoatl. So it happened to me. It still happens to me. Like, we read. We don't know how things are pronounced. Like, what can we do? Is Macedonia Greek? Yes, I believe it is. I believe Macedonia is Greek. Ginger Santa, is that all you're going to call me? Don't get me wrong, I like it. What's funny is I'm blonde. My hair is, I guess it has hints of red, but yeah. Ginger Santa, have you heard of Attack on Titan? If you watched it, can you give me your opinion? If not, you should watch it. If you're going to watch it, there is a lot of blood. Yes, I saw seasons 1 and 2. I loved season 1. There are times when it drags a little. Season 2 I didn't like as much. I found it a little... In fact, the truth is... I know the final season's coming out. I'm going to have to rewatch season 2 because I kind of forgot what happened in season 2. I still remember everything that happened in season 1, and I loved season 1. I actually wanted to read the manga after watching season 1, but then my friend, he told me not to because he said that the manga turns... It starts to really, really drag at some points. So, you know, given that the final season is coming out, I might just watch the whole show and then just have an opinion after that. But I loved season 1, thought season 2 was weaker, and hopefully the other seasons will be awesome. You have 2.13 subs and deserve each and every one. Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, you know, I'm really glad you guys are happy with the content. Oh, something I really want to address, by the way, the Tinder videos that blew up recently and that have actually, they've kind of increased my sub counts. I'm really happy about those. Here's the thing about those Tinder videos. My partner Wilda actually made those. I did the voice and I came up with some of the jokes, but almost all of it was done by Wilda. She created the images. She wrote the. I also came up with the ages of the gods, obviously. But I've never been on Tinder before. She has. She's used it, so she knew how Tinder speak worked. And she came to me with the idea. She was like, "You should do gods on Tinder. That would be funny." I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." And I was coming up with descriptions. She was like, "That's not really how people on Tinder write their descriptions." And I was like, "Well, how do they?" And she kept saying more and more. In the end, I was like, "You know what? Maybe you should just do these because you seem to know." And she was like, "You know what? Maybe I should." And I would give her. She would come to me and ask, "Hey, what's this god like?" I would tell her what the god is like, and she'd be like, "Ah, I know how to write this god's description." There were some small jokes I came up with. Like I came up with one I'd say per video I've come up with like 2 or 3 of the jokes in each in the bios, but she has come up with the vast majority of the jokes. She picked the images for the gods. She created the Tinder profiles and everything. So it was really majority she is to thank for those videos. I came up with some of the jokes, I came up with the ages, and I did the voices, but those videos are very much her babies. So I'm very proud of her. Those are some of the most popular videos on my YouTube channel now. She did a fantastic job on those. She's very talented. So if you guys want anyone to thank for those in particular, she's the one to thank. She also helps me with some of my other ideas, but usually I do the majority of the video making work, but with those, she did the majority. Love your videos so much. Thank you again, Kitty. Very nice of you. You guys are really nice. This is great. Dude, I have allergies too. My throat hurts and I can't stop snotting. I know, it sucks. Allergies are awful. Who would win, Thor or Ares? I'm going to say Thor, because Thor is the most... I think they've established he is the most powerful of the Norse gods. Ares would put up a good fight, but I think Thor's power combined with how powerful Mjolnir is would be able to take down Ares. Was I right about the god you fought in God of War being Balder? I am Wynn Davis. Yeah, I suspected you were Wynn Davis. I'm a little worried about spoilers for people here, but you were right. Okay, you were right. You were. Yes, I was kind of being sarcastic after that, but we did eventually get to the point in the game where Kratos and Atreus talking confirms it. So yes, that was Balder. Ragnarok may not happen like in the myth they already killed. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't think it's going to happen like in the myth. I think Kratos entering the Norselands has disrupted the fate that the Norns predicted. So I don't think it's going to happen exactly like in the myth. But I still think the characters who are supposed to be integral parts of Ragnarok will show up. I just don't think they'll die the same way. I still enjoy Twilight. Well, good for you. I'm glad you can enjoy it. I personally did not enjoy it. In fact, I might eventually review those movies on this channel because they are based on vampires and werewolves, which is Romanian mythology. So technically, they count. I might review them. If you guys want me to review them, let me know. And it's perfectly fine if you enjoy them, honestly. There's nothing wrong with enjoying something that I don't. Since Zeus ate Athena's mom, is she still in there or did I miss something? She's still in there. It's according to mythology, Athena's mom is still inside of Zeus. My God, I'm half Russian and half Georgian. Hey, how you doing? Привет. Hey to you too, Evan. Who would win, Zeus from Percy Jackson or Zeus from actual Greek myth? I'm not sure. I mean, like Zeus from Percy Jackson is based on the Greek myth, but they've never really said in Percy Jackson whether or not he's strong as the actual Greek myth one, but so far from the feats he's pulled off, it seems like he might. I would say it's probably just going to be a stalemate. It's a little hard for me to give you an actual definitive answer on that. I will say Zeus from mythology is a freaking powerhouse. Here we go. A vid discussing Journey to the West and Dragon Ball is what Luke wants. Okay, I will definitely do that. And I'm going to make a note of that right now. I am happy to make that video. I'm sure people will enjoy that. Maybe the kid was your Voldemort and the fire truck was the killing curse. Yeah, possibly. Maybe I'll run into that kid again. Maybe he'll like come back driving a full-sized fire truck and run me right over. Small theory: in Attack on Titan, are Titan shifters demigods? Sorry if I spilled the anime. I have no idea what a Titan shifter is, so I don't think you spoiled anything. But please do avoid spoilers because I do want to watch it. Okay, so who would win, Sonic the Hedgehog or Thor? It's hard to say. Thor definitely has more raw power. Sonic is obviously faster. But I don't think anything Sonic could do would really hurt Thor. So I would say if it came down to it at the end of the day, it would probably be Thor. I would love to see that fight. What is that Star Trek thing behind you? That is... this is the original series. I got it at Costco for a reduced price because I wanted to... Like, it was cheap, and I thought, why not? I've always wanted to get into Star Trek, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's the entire original series and the movies from the original series. Basically everything with Captain Kirk. Unless you count the crossover with Next Generation, but whatever. I really want to see you review the Percy Jackson movies because people say they are ridiculously inaccurate, and I want to see your point of view. That is actually something I've been planning to do. So eventually, I will do that. Eventually. It's a little hard for me to make those full reviews like the Mulan one because, like I said, it took me 20 hours to make. That was really hard to make. But I'm going to hopefully get some help from some friends in the future because I made that one entirely by myself, and God, I wish I had help making that. Could Jesus defeat Zeus? Jesus doesn't fight, so I'm going to say no to that. Also, Jesus isn't a god. He's technically a demigod, but yeah. So I don't think so. Jesus has a different kind of power than Zeus does, and it's got nothing to do with fighting. I love Dragon Ball as well. You should. It's fantastic. The PJO movie, the Percy Jackson movies are horribly inaccurate in respect to the books. That is very true. I'm going to try to speed up a little so I can try to catch up with you guys. Who would win, Jesus or Dionysus? Again, Jesus doesn't fight, guys. He doesn't. And even if they did, I think Dionysus would win because Jesus turns water into wine, and Dionysus is like, "You fool! That's my strength." Recently found you out while watching some Percy Jackson TikToks. Love your vids. My question is, if you only have a choice of becoming Zeus or Hera, whom would you choose? I would be Zeus. I want that raw powers. Hera is cool and all, but Zeus has so much raw power. I would much rather be Zeus. Yeah. Favorite superhero? It's probably Deadpool. I love Deadpool. And like some people are like, oh, because of the movie? Well, I've actually been a fan of his for a long time. I've actually on my shelf over there, I've got a Deadpool comic signed by Nolan North, which I'm going to probably show off in a video I'm planning to make really soon. But yeah, I actually got Nolan North to sign it. He was so cool. He's so nice in person, guys. I love Nolan North is so nice. I love the heck out of Deadpool. I loved the movie. I thought it represented him really well. And if for anyone who wants to know, my favorite villain is obviously Joker. Which is funny, though. The thing is, I like DC more than Marvel, but my favorite superhero is still Deadpool. I just like it a lot. Okay. Do you like Rick and Morty? Love Rick and Morty. Love it. I've actually got a Pickle Rick figure on my shelves over there. And I'm sorry I'm not showing you guys all this. It's just I don't want to have to keep picking up the computer and moving it around the room. But I am actually, guys, I'm just going to give you a little hint. Very soon, you will see everything in this room. Okay? Very soon. All right. Jesus could make him drunk. I don't think Dionysus could get drunk, guys. If Dionysus can actually get drunk, Dionysus is the god of wine, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you Google how many kids Zeus has, it like only 53, and I don't believe it, to be honest. Like maybe 53, like officially, like 53 who have mythical stories around them is the idea. But, knowing Zeus, if he was actually out there, he would have thousands by now. Have you ever seen Class of the Titans, animated TV show about descendants from Greek heroes fighting to prevent Kratos from taking back Olympus? That's another thing on my list of things to check out. I have not checked it out yet, unfortunately. Yeah, I've been working hard on content, and also been reading new myths, and also been trying to finish reading Trials of Apollo. I haven't been able to finish that yet. That's one of the things I really want to finish. But yeah, Class of the Titans is on my list of things to check out. What time is it where you are? Right this second, it is 7:34 p.m. Okay. Yo, you should list the Destripando la Historia songs. They are. Oh, you should listen to the Destripando la Historia songs. They are about great gods. Yeah, I think someone told me that before. That's another thing on the list of things to check out. I got a whole list here on my phone. Would you rather be reincarnated or live in an afterlife? I don't want to be reincarnated. If I get into heaven, I want to stay in heaven. I mean, who wouldn't? Here's the thing: if I'm going to hell, I want to be reincarnated. Yeah, I would love to live in an afterlife if it's a good afterlife. That's the thing. Sounds like Zeus propaganda to me. The 53 kids thing. Yeah, it probably is. Valhalla or Elysium? You know, as cool as Valhalla would be, I'm a pretty lazy person. I wouldn't want to have to go fight to the death every single day. I'd probably go with Elysium. Can you do more videos on Celtic gods and myths? Absolutely, I plan to. Yeah, that's something I know Celtic mythology pretty well at this point, and I will definitely make more videos about it. Olympus seems like high school level 100, based on what I said earlier. Yeah, it probably is. Ooh, I just had a cool idea. What if you did a story time where you just read myths that you like to us? You know, some people have said stuff like that. I could probably do that if you guys really want me to. Like, it would be kind of hard to pick the myths. I mean, I could... Here's the thing, though. There are other channels that do that pretty well. There's a great channel that I go to a lot when I want to do research called Mythology and Fiction Explained. And, of course, there's also Overly Sarcastic Productions. Those are both really great channels. Oh, also, there's one called Today in History. But, yeah, I could. If you guys really want me to, I could do just telling stories. I do the Fun Facts series. But if you want me to just straight up tell mythical stories, I could try that too. The thing is, most of my videos are made for TikTok to be posted on TikTok first and then reposted here. And TikTok has a 60-second limit. But if you guys really want a story time, I might do that just for YouTube. I do some content just for YouTube, honestly. Like this right here is only on YouTube. Excited for season 5 of My Hero Academia on March 27th. I haven't started that series yet, but I hear it's fantastic, so I totally get why you're excited for it. Do you watch that anime? Well, I just addressed that. Haven't seen it yet. It is something I eventually want to watch, but haven't seen it yet. Dang God. Every time I scroll down, it goes way too far down. Sorry. Okay, got it. Love the fact that this community is so nice and accepting. I love it too. This is a great community. I love you guys. You guys are a fantastic fan base. Thor versus Zeus, who would win? Ooh, now that's the real question. I don't know. They are the strongest characters in each of their mythologies. Well, strongest gods in each of their mythologies. If Thor didn't have his hammer, I would say Zeus would win. Thor's cheating a little, but Zeus has his Master Bolt, which is also incredibly powerful. That's the thing. Thor's cheating a little because he's got the gloves that double his strength. I'd say if Thor didn't have his gloves, he would lose. With the gloves and the hammer, I don't know, honestly. I honestly can't tell you, but yeah, if they were fighting bare-fisted, I think Zeus would win. I comment on a lot of your vids. Yes, I've noticed that, and I really appreciate it. So your birthday is January 18th. Yes. Yes, it is. This guy is so wholesome. I wish he had more subs. Aw. Well, with time comes more subs. I'm sure there will be a lot more. But, I am happy to have all of you guys. I'm really happy today. Today is a good day. And, you guys are great people. Can you make videos about superstitions? Ooh, actually, that's not a bad. I could do fun facts about that, actually. Yes, that's a good idea. I like that idea. What is the man Orion? Oh, are you talking about the Greek character? I believe that was the guy who had a thing for Artemis. Yeah, if I recall correctly. Feel free to tell me if I'm mixing him up with someone else. Theory: Artemis became a virgin because she was bullied by men at 3. She hated men and didn't even bother to actually learn that decent men exist. That's a fun theory. The thing is, though, I really hate to be this guy, but according to the actual myth, Artemis, right after she was born, she begged Zeus to promise her that she'd never have to get married. She was just born with that mentality, according to the myth. But, like I said, there are a lot of alternate versions of myths, so who knows? There could be that too. Loki, Hermes, and Sun Wukong run into each other during their travels. What do you think they get up to? I would say that they just run into each other and go, hey, what you doing? It's you again. Like they already know each other. And then they just sit down like around like a fire started by Loki, and they just start talking about like all what they've done to people. And then they start challenging each other. Oh, yeah, well, I'll bet you can't do this. I'll bet you can't do that. Oh, yeah, well, next time we run into each other, I'll give you an update. That's what I would think those three would do. Tobias, I have to go to bed. Good night. I have finals in the morning, which I am excited for. Oh, well, I'm good for you. Well, I'm sad to see you go, Tobias. Very nice having you here. Good luck on your finals tomorrow. I've never heard anyone say they're excited for finals, but good for you, man. Good for you. With the Percy Jackson books, there are a lot of funny chapter titles. Which one is your favorite? Oh, I don't remember the chapter titles. It's been a long time. I'm sorry, I don't remember them. I really don't. I mean, feel free to post some of the funnier ones here and ask me which one's my favorite if you remember them. And then I'll happily pick one. Oh, Zagard's here. Hello, Zagard. How you doing? Zagard's the guy I was streaming with yesterday. For anyone who doesn't know, I don't remember which mythology it is, but I heard about this dude that went to the underworld and he was told, "Don't get off his horse unless this dog I give you gets off." I am not familiar with that. If anyone knows, feel free to say. Hello to you too, Sean. How you doing? Word on the street is you have flash underwear. Is this true? Yes, it is, Zagard, as you already know. I'm not wearing it right now, so I can't show you. I did wear it yesterday during the stream, though. I have underwear based on the Flash from DC Comics, and it's so that I can make a joke like, like if somebody sees my underwear, oh, I didn't mean to flash you. You're more of a strawberry blonde to me. I've been told that. Yeah, makes sense. With the Tinder videos, I just got to say, I like how Hades is like I'm on here from March to August. That was just perfect. Yeah, that was one of my suggestions. And yeah, I'm really glad you liked it. Yeah, because for anyone who doesn't know, those are the months when Persephone is away. So obviously those are the months he would be there. I'm glad you like that. I'm really glad. If you could be the child of one god, which would it be? Hades, which according to readriordan.com, I am. Hey. Or Sun Wukong, because I'd love to have his powers. If I could have Sun Wukong's powers, I would want to be his child. Which of the Greek gods did the ancient Greeks like the most? I'm not sure. I mean, I wasn't there. There was a lot of worship for Apollo, I will say that. The Romans probably liked Ares the most because, or Mars, their version. Yeah, there was a lot of Apollo worship. There was a lot of love for Dionysus because of, partying and having fun. There was a lot of Athena worship, but that was mainly in Athens for obvious reasons. I don't know which one they liked the most. It's a little hard to say. I couldn't tell you. I wasn't there, but those are just some significant ones. So with the Minth Tea video, can you please elaborate? I don't want to be wrong about what happened. Okay, so in that video, I made a joke where Minth, a woman, tries to seduce Hades, and then Persephone catches her. And in the next scene, Persephone is drinking tea, and she calls it mint tea. Ooh, mint tea. So the joke is what happened is she killed Minth and turned her into mint tea. Now, in the actual myth, what happened was Persephone turned Minth into a mint. She was the first mint, and so that was why I made the joke. She turned her into a mint, and then she made mint tea out of it. So that's what happened in that video. Please review Twilight. Okay, well, there you go. I guess I will in the future. I might do it like during, if I can, I might do it during February, month of love, Twilight. Hey. Metis, Athena's mom, dissolves into Zeus's thoughts in some Greek myths. Yeah. That's kind of what I meant by she's still in there. Yeah, she becomes Zeus's thoughts, basically. You guys should watch God's School, the Olympian Gods. So great. It will test your patience because it only has 3 episodes because one person is doing everything, directing, writing, and editing. Yeah, exactly. It is really good. Though, unfortunately, there are only 3 episodes out, but I think you should still go check them out because it helps the guy making them get more success, and which will allow him to make more videos. Usually I like to wait till something's done and binge it, but when it's an independently made thing like this, they need the success in order to keep it going. So if you're interested in checking out God's School, you should go check it out. The only reason I'm holding off on checking it out is because I want to watch it with friends, but I do plan to watch all 3 episodes soon. And from the parts I did see, it's very well made and very impressive. Okay, how are you doing? I'm doing great right now. I'm really happy. I'm really enjoying doing this with you guys. Oh, it's been an hour and 45. This is the longest Q&A I've done. I'm trying to catch up to you guys, but there's so much here, and that makes me happy. Have you ever heard of the Hounds of Christ? It's not mythological Christian monk order that proclaimed to be werewolves and fought demons in hell. I did not know about that. But that's something I could definitely talk about in a fun fact video. That's certainly interesting. Costco is a store people go to. Indeed it is. Gotta go. Very tired. It's late where I live, so bye, Strawberry Blonde Santa. Goodbye, anime fan. It was really great having you here. I'm really glad you were able to come back and enjoy it for a while. I hope you had fun. It's 10:30 where I am, so I'm going to go to bed. I'm in 7th grade after all. So bye, happy anniversary. Thank you very much, Athestia. Thank you for being a longtime fan. You're really awesome. I love having you around. It's 9 in the morning where I live. Man, I got people all over the world. This is great. Man, geez. Is Deadpool really a superhero or just a mercenary vigilante with superhero friends? Technically, he's an anti-hero. So yeah, he's an anti-hero. If you're asking me to pick a superhero who's not an anti-hero, it's probably Beast Boy. I love the hell out of Beast Boy, from Teen Titans. So yeah, we'll say that then, if that's more satisfying for you guys. You already told us you were doing a tour tomorrow in the community tab. Good, you saw that. Yeah, I didn't think a lot of people saw that. So people who know that. He can regenerate, so he does have powers. Yes, Deadpool does have powers. He technically has superhero powers. It's 10:34 for me. This stream started at 9 p.m. for you. Okay, well, all right. So it's about like 3 hours later for you. Out of the Olympians, who would come close to Big 3 power other than the actual Big 3? Oh, I don't know, because the Big 3 are on a whole nother level. I don't know if any of the others would come close to that. Ares and Athena probably, but then who would be number 3? Out of the Olympians, you said, so it's kind of restrictive. Then, Dionysus has the power to make people go mad, and that's kind of that's like a mind power, which in some ways can be better than a physical power. So for the sake of it, I'm going to say Ares, Athena, and Dionysus. Why do so many people get turned into plants? Because we have to explain where the plants came from. I don't know. In Greek myth, plants are very crucial when it comes to gods. Yeah, basically, like we got the narcissus plant, we got the hyacinth plant, the mint plant. It's just plants, plants, plants. Yeah, it's a YouTube channel. They have subs, by the way. Oh, you're talking about the. I'm not sure which thing you're talking about. But I'm sure one of the previous things we talked about earlier. Okay. What if all the mythologies had a giant battle royale? Who would win and why? Geez, probably the Norse, and I say that because the Norse gods have literally an entire race of war gods called the Aesir. So I feel like out of all the myths, they're the ones most ready for a fight, especially because they're like constantly preparing for Ragnarok. They've got the Einherjar and everything. So I think the safest guess would be Norse out of all of them. Bro, my dog is barking so loud I can't sleep. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Also, you're watching a live stream. Well, I'm guessing he came back to the live stream because he couldn't sleep. I'm sorry to hear that, Athestia. Did you watch the Thor versus Zeus epic rap battles of history? Oh no, I don't think I saw that one. I saw Goku versus Superman. I've seen a lot of the famous ones. I don't. Is that recent? Thor versus Zeus? Because I haven't seen them in a while. I kind of stopped watching them a while ago. I lost interest a little bit, but they're still really good. So, in several Riordan books, it proves all the gods exist in one universe. Whose genius idea was it to have Thor and Zeus claiming to be in charge? It was probably Thor and Zeus's ideas, honestly. Sorry, my cat stole my phone and typed random stuff. Oh, and before that, there's two. Okay, then. Do you know where the superstition about 13 being bad luck came from? I don't. I can tell you the superstition about 7 being good luck, I believe, comes from Japanese myth because Japan has a group of minor gods called the 7 gods of luck. And each of those gods is a god of a different type of luck. And I believe that's where the whole 7 being a lucky number came from. I do not know where 13 being bad luck came from, but I'd be very happy to hear it. Hi, what are your thoughts on Zeus? I think he's an incredibly powerful badass and also an incredibly dirtbag F-boy. Like, in a fight, you definitely want him on his side, but in the social circles, you would typically want to avoid him. Which horse in mythology is your favorite? Oh, there's an interesting one. It might be Sleipnir. I like the whole 8 legs thing. It's really cool. So yeah, I do really like Sleipnir. Ooh, but I also like the pale horse that the Horseman of Death rides. Ooh, and also the war horse though, because that horse leaves hellfire wherever it goes. I also like the headless horseman's horse, but it's hard to. I don't think that would be one of my favorites because I more like the horseman himself than I do the horse. But Sleipnir, Warhorse, and Pale Horse are probably 3 of the top ones that I really, really like. Oh, also Ukchai Shravas is really cool. The 7-headed horse from Hindu myth. Those are some of my tops. I'm not entirely sure which one's entirely on top. In case you can't tell, I'm not great at picking favorites. PJO Chapter 1 title, I accidentally killed my pre-algebra teacher. I remember that now. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to say it's that. I think that one's my favorite out of the Percy Jackson chapters. The most crackhead trio of Greek myths would probably be Hermes, Apollo, and Dionysus. Yes, actually, that would be hilarious just to see them all screwing around. Them having like a buddy comedy movie similar to like The Hangover or something where they screw something up and they have to fix it. That I wish that would happen. If I ever get millions of dollars, I'm going to make that movie happen. The mythology community is the best because you can make so many jokes, most of which are about Zeus and seducing people. Very true. BJO Chapter 4, my mom teaches me bullfighting. That's good too, but I prefer the pre-algebra teacher. Okay. Chapter 6, I become Lord of the Bathroom. Very good too. Okay, now we've got some spamming going on. I'm just going to ignore that. And PJO chapter 2, three old ladies knit socks of death. Yeah, also good. I'm still loving the pre-algebra teacher one most though. My best friend loses his pants. Another good chapter title. These are funny. In The Lightning Thief, Percy described the Athena kids all being blonde. So I don't understand. Is Athena blonde or does she just have a type? Because last time I checked, Athena has dark hair. You know, I always thought of Athena as having brown hair. You know, I don't think there's a definitive myth that says what color her hair is. I'm not sure. So you could say she's blonde. I guess I don't see why not. It's hard to say, really. That's all the titles I remember from the first book. You remembered all those by memory. Dang. Good for you, K. Marley. All right. Sorry, just trying to get to the next batch. I'm playing Minecraft with you in the background. Almost died because I was paying attention to you. Sorry. I'm sorry. Happy late anniversary. I know, no joke, just realized. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really love hearing that stuff. Who's your favorite Dragon Ball character? Ooh, I love Goku. It's probably Goku. I keep saying the main characters, but let's face it, guys. In both Percy Jackson and Dragon Ball, the main character is so lovable. Goku's lovable naivete is just so great. It's Goku. I'm just going to say it's Goku. So everyone in the chat that's for the chat. That's not for me. Have you heard about Pele? Yes, I've made a couple videos about Pele, actually. Hawaiian, Polynesian goddess of volcanoes who once hooked up with Kamapua'a. Hi to you too, Boombox Gang. Did you like the part where Nyx put a curse on Eris? I mean, it's so shocking. Eris is Nyx's oldest and favorite daughter. In episode 3 in God School. Oh, I haven't seen episode 3 of God's School yet, but I will get to that eventually. What is your favorite sacred animal? Why? Ooh. That is not easy. Sacred animal. That's... fudge. Sacred animal. Does the golden dragon from Japanese myth count? The one that used to be a koi fish but then became a dragon? Because I love his story. How he worked hard to get all the way up the waterfall, and then the gods turned him into the golden dragon, the Kinryu, as a reward. Yeah, one thing I love about Japanese mythology is a lot of the stories are just hard work being rewarded. So that would probably be it. I love how his determination, and I hope one day I read a book where someone has the Kinryu as one of the characters, because I'd love to see more of that character. You know what I noticed about Greek mythology? Athena is great at creating nightmares. For example, Medusa or Arachne. Yeah, Athena is very good at transforming women who pissed her off into monsters. So in some myths, Talos was the last Bronze Age human, while in others he was a creation of Hephaestus. Did Hephaestus secretly create humanity? There are versions of mythology where Hephaestus did. There's versions of mythology in Greek mythology where there were 3 ages of humans. There was the golden age of humans, the first humans, which were the children of Gaia and Pontus, the water. Pontus was the primordial deity of water, and from them came the first humans. And then after that didn't work out, there was the Silver Age of humans, which were created from clay by Prometheus. You've probably heard of this. So Prometheus created the Silver Age of humans. And then when that didn't work out, Hephaestus created the Third Age of humans, the Bronze Age, and he made them out of bronze, obviously. And yeah, so Talos kind of ties into both of those. That's the thing. So yeah, That's one of the interesting versions of Greek mythology, where there was the Golden Age, the Silver Age, and the Bronze Age, all created by different deities. Just listen to the Thor versus Zeus ERB, and damn, it's good. You know what? I might do a reaction video on that. I think people would like that. I might do a fresh reaction to that because I legitimately haven't seen it. Do you think Achilles and Patroclus were more than friends? Depends on the version you read. I read the version where they were best friends, and I also read the version where they were best friends and cousins. And then I later on found out about the lover version. So for me, I'm more partial to the version where they're not lovers, but that's just because that's the version where I grew up, which I grew up with. But, you know, I wasn't there, and it's very possible that they were lovers and that just wasn't said in older versions for obvious reasons. So, you know, that's what I think of it. I'm pretty sure the reason is because Athena hates the dumb blonde stereotype, the reason why people don't say she's blonde. Yeah, makes sense. I'm playing Tetris. Good for you. Tetris is fun. I love Tetris. Oop, a little too far down. I am going to have to wrap up soon, guys, because it's been almost 2 hours. But I'm going to try to finish up these last questions. Hey, you're catching up to the chat. Oh, yay! If you had to choose one Greek god or goddess to hug, who and why? Hephaestus. He needs it, man. Poor guy. Poor guy and his loveless marriage, who builds all the celestial weapons for the gods and deserves so much more respect than he gets. I would hug him. You like Robin from Teen Titans? I like all the Teen Titans. I think they were all fantastic in the original show, not in the new one. I won't watch the new one. I refuse to. Oh god. And also Teen Titans Go. Oh. Why do we have to ruin things that are fantastic? Just watch the original show. It's so good. What would happen if cyborgs existed in mythology? You know, they kind of do. Hephaestus has made robotic body parts for people, and he has also made robots, automatons. So I guess Greek mythology would be going on. That's what would happen. If I had to choose a Greek god or goddess to hug, I would do Thanatos, because I bet no one has ever hugged him. You know, Thanatos does have a wife in mythology, so maybe she has, but I do feel like Thanatos should be more appreciated, honestly. Don't we die if we touch death? I'd do it anyways, though. I don't know if that's in the Greek version. It is in the Grim Reaper version. You think I care about dying? I don't fear death. Good for you, Katie. No, I don't think you die if you just touch Thanatos. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Did you know Japan made an animated series about Greek and Roman mythology? Well, not all is about mythology, but it's so great. There are a lot of sadist or sadist, I'm not sure which that is, scenes. I did not know that. Please tell me the name of that anime. Another PGO chapter. I crash my own funeral. That's great. That's from Battle of the Labyrinth, right? Sean Cummings, what is your name? Ooh, I've never said my name on either channel before. My name is Andrew. That's my actual name. I figure I might as well tell you guys. It's been a year. You guys have really, you deserve to know. My actual name is Andrew. Some people thought my name was Steve because I made a joke about that in a video. It was just a joke. My name's not Steve. My name's Andrew. You can technically see that on the Instagram page. Isn't that a chapter for Magnus Chiss? You know, it might be, because he does crash his own funeral in Magnus Chiss. Sorry I left my phone died. Don't be sorry. It's totally fine. You do you, man. Man, I didn't know much about Minth. Well, now you do. There were 5 ages of humans: golden, silver, bronze, heroes, and iron in some Greek myths. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, there was the age of heroes and the age of iron. Yeah. I was just trying to get up to the Hephaestus part because that's what the question was about. Which Greek god do you dislike the most? Oh, yeah. We talked about this last time. You know, here's the thing. I like all the gods. Let me just say that first. But the one I like the least is probably Hera. Look, and I know she gets cheated on. I do feel bad for her. But she's always punishing the person who is not to blame. She's always punishing the kids, too. She's just does such horrible things. And to top it off, there aren't a ton of impressive Hera stories There's some, but I feel like all the other gods have more good stories than she does, which is unfortunate. Like more, I'm open to people writing new Hera's stories, but if we're talking actual mythology, I feel like she's the lead. She's the one who's almost always utilized in a mean way and not in a, and never in like a helpful way. So I would have to say Hera, unfortunately. Please react to the Thor versus Zeus ERB. Yep, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. What cheese do you like the most? I don't really eat cheese by itself. When I have cheese, it's either on pizza or on Cheetos or on pasta. It's probably either cheddar or Parmesan. One of those. I like shredded Parmesan powder. I got to sleep, but I enjoyed getting responses to my questions. You are a good YouTuber. Good night. Thank you, Tabs. Thank you very much. Yeah, I got to go to sleep too. Goodbye. Yeah, this is a good time. I'm going to wrap up, guys. Very nice having you all here. In the chapter where he meets up with Annabeth at the funeral home, he didn't actually go to his funeral then. Wait, who is Thanatos' wife? I actually don't remember her name. Give me a second. Yeah, look, I know a lot of people are like, why don't you know this off the top of your head? I'm sorry, guys. When you try to learn as many myths as I do, sometimes you forget things, especially since I do have ADD. He got together with Macaria. Okay. When do you think Athena would have finally approve of Persebeth? Does she not approve of it now? Like after the end of the Percy Jackson series, it seemed like she was more approving of Percy after he defeated Kronos and everything. Alex Trebek died. Oh, really? Oh, that sucks. The name of that series is Sailor Moon Crystal. Oh, it's one of the Sailor Moon series. Oh, I didn't know that. It has 3 seasons, but you can't watch it on YouTube. Got to watch it on Facebook. Oh, my mom made blue cookies. I gotta go. Have fun. Oh, that sounds cool. Annabeth ever mentioned Matt Agnes in the first 2 series? I don't think she ever did. I don't think she did either. I don't. I remember when I first grabbed the Magnus Chase book, I'm like, is he related to Annabeth? Did you know that Hera grabbed all of Argus's eyes and put them on her animal's tail, the peacock? I did know that. Yeah, that's supposed to explain where the peacock's eyes come from. Bye. Mustn't leave those blue cookies waiting. Have a good time with those blue cookies. Bye. Gotta go. Good night. Goodbye to you. Which Titan do you think didn't deserve to get punished by Zeus once he came to power? Prometheus. The way he punished Prometheus was bullcrap. Okay, I'm going now. Thank you so much for the videos. Make sure to watch God's School Sailor Moon when you get another chance, because I'm going to ask you about God's School in the other one. Okay, I'll do my best. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. You guys are great. Everyone's leaving because it's night where they live. Am I the only Indian here? Well, I hate to tell you this, sir, but it's also night where I live. So I'm going to have to head out now. I really enjoyed making this video with you guys. Thank you all so much for your support. You guys really are the best, and I hope to keep doing this for a long time. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I do these Q&As every single month. This was a special one because it was the anniversary special. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.